fiscal cliff, there's one industry that could already be feeling the impact of inaction. Leaders in the shipping sector are following the talks closely with the fear that a deadlock will have an impact on global trade. And if demand slows, the shipping industry will feel it first. CNBC's Ann LaRocco joins us now. She's author of Dynasties of the Sea. Ann, good to see you. What is this sector, what is the global shipping sector saying about the talks, and are they seeing an impact right now?
Ross, they are demanding leadership, and they say they are not seeing it. They are very, very worried that the politicians here in the United States are not going to compromise. And they said that they're holding back. They're holding back on investing, and they're waiting to see if the United States can get their act together, because there's so much uncertainty between the tax cuts and as well as the energy regulations. So they're just really holding off. I mean, Jakob Stolt-Nielsen from Stolt-Nielsen told me that we need to have more Winston Churchills here, and he is asking them to rise above, set aside their differences, and get the job done.
And whilst we have the fiscal cliff as well, we've also looked at a bit of a slowdown in China. The Eurozone financial crisis rumbles on. So what is the sector telling us about the state of the global economy?
Well, if you look inside the packages that are going from point to point, you can really get a good forward-looking indicator in terms of the health of the various economies. The interesting thing that I saw in the book after interviewing a variety of CEOs was the emergence of Japan. As Japan is weaning off nuclear power, they are actually consuming more U.S. oil. So a lot of tanker companies are very, very excited, because, as you know, that increases the ton miles for their ships. The other thing is they're looking at the Philippines, Brazil. I mean, a lot of these collectively, they're looking at the punch, if you will, that these populations can give. And even South Africa, they're saying that South Africa is 50 to 70 years behind the United States. So it just makes sense for them to start investing in those countries. So it's really interesting to see where they're placing their bets, so to speak, as the overall economy. You're looking at Europe facing its own fiscal challenges, as well as the United States, that they do see opportunity.
Yeah, and look, we've been speaking to some people. Jerry Wang, what's his take on this?
Jerry Wang is very bullish in terms of what he's seeing, and he's excited about what he's seeing in terms of the amount of volume that is being carried across the sea. This is what he told us on Squawk Box earlier this week.
From our perspective, our ships are loading pretty well. You look at trades between Asia and North America right now, our ships are 95% fully laden. From Asia to Europe, frankly, at this point of time, our ships are 100% fully laden.
So, Ann, he's putting out a fairly bullish note. I wonder what's happening with the Greek ship-owning community, because there's so much focus on Greece from the crisis, and they're such an important sector for that country. What are they saying?
Well, they're very upset. I mean, a lot of these Greeks, as you know, Greek, of course, is their traditional ship owners in this industry. Angeliki from Navios was just very mad. She said that the Greek government is lying to their people, because anybody with common sense would know that what they are trying to provide their citizens just doesn't work economically. There is a lot of resentment. They're very, very angry, as when I spoke with the American CEOs about our fiscal crisis here. Over in Europe, it's just as palpable. And even in the banking industry over there, they're frustrated because the good banks are being hurt because of what's happening across the board. So they're also calling for leadership, and they're calling for honesty.
And Ann, just finally, we've been speaking to some other people as well about the shipping industry. What are they saying of what the future holds?
They're very excited. When you're looking at the emergence of America coming out with their energy discoveries, it's actually rewriting the routes of world trade. And because of this boom, you've got the CEO of C Corp very excited in terms of what he's looking at. And he also is very bullish in terms of what he's seeing for the future.
There are really several aspects to the shipping business. The international shipping business is one aspect, and it will change the trading patterns for that business. What used to be coming into America as crude oil will probably start being exported, some of it as product, perhaps to South America or other areas that need refined products. And coastwise shipping is already beginning to benefit. That's the Protected Jones Act market. Recently, ships that were previously taking gasoline into Florida or maybe even New York are starting to move crude oil up to the refineries on the East Coast.
Going along with the energy theme, CEOs were telling me that they continue to innovate during this difficult time by creating more fuel-efficient ships.
For us, what matters in conjunction with fuel-efficient ships, which are 30% more efficient whilst they're at sea, is the tremendous expansion of trade and the explosion on the demand side that's happening at the moment as a result of three things: the expansion of refining capacity in India, the expansion of refining capacity in the Middle East, and the incredible transformation that finally the United States is actually a net exporter of products. And that is hugely important to the world.
There we go, a glimpse of the future. Lori-Ann, good to see you. Thanks for that. Lori-Ann LaRocco, author of Dynasties of the Sea.